Barred Prison Initiative, the one where I got my associate's degree from, inside of prison, which their program inside of prison is extraordinary, but what they do to us when we come out is not. And I'm going to talk about that. I know that punk ass Max Kenner don't want me to talk about that, but I'm going to talk about that. And a lot of men and women are talking about that. And while I was speaking on behalf of Bard, when I came home to talk about how extraordinary their curriculum is in prison, I didn't know a lot about them that I do now, that I had to learn actually the hard way. Because when people was talking about them, I'm like, what? They was making you do the monkey dance and that's a whole nother story. I want these black men that like talking about Bard so much to have a spine and lift their dick up and find their balls. This way I can stop having all of this hostility onto me as if I'm saying something other than what's being said behind these people's back. And the griminess that they're doing to us, thinking that we're their fucking slaves and we're never their slaves. Now, one thing about me, I'll tell you something, right? I spoke on their behalf in a good way. I told the truth about their program. The program inside, extraordinary. But it has nothing to do with them. It had more to do with the college professors that were the beautiful souls that they were when they came into the facility and never treated us like an inmate, never treated us like a prisoner, never treated us like a criminal. They treated us like a student, and all we wanted to be was students. We were there to learn. And so in return, that took us out of a place and put us into a better place where we had more hope in society to be somebody better than what they said that we was. Once upon a time, just 15 years ago, people who are formerly incarcerated would never get a job, ever. And so formerly incarcerated people, they came home and they changed the game. They're the ones who did that. Formerly incarcerated people came home and started hiring their own. Something that black people should do as a whole. Black people like to be talking about LGBT issues and how, all the rights for LGBTs and all of this stuff is because LGBTs have one thing in common. They stick together. There's unity. Y'all like to talk about the Asians. Asians have one thing in common. They have unity. You like to talk about the Jews. Jews, unity.